Hey guys, Justice here, Dozer guy. We're bringing that fence row all the way down, probably about that pine right there, just past this electric pole. So, got to try to fix it where they can mow behind that fence. And we got to work my way down to it, trying not to take out any good looking trees, but there's some that's got the tops of them broke out. As you can see how tall this road bank is right here from the low side. When I was pulling those stumps the other day, it didn't appear to be that steep. But I just wanted to get a shot of it at this angle so you can see what I was working with there. We got trees leaning out close to these power lines, hanging over a road bank. I got it to about right here with the dozer. I cut it flat. I'm going to take that poplar out right there. It's been very dangerous to mow that right there with the slope it had on it, especially if the grass was wet or a little bit slick. But back down there where I started this video, all the way back to the construction exit gate, is 6/10 of a mile. And I apologize about the video the other day. I had some footage, I thought, of me running the D4, the new one that they brought out. And I did something wrong. I guess I didn't have it recording. I'd moved the camera a bunch of times. I had about an hour worth of video and didn't have a drop of it. After I got out and moved the camera, but I guess it was good practice. Well, y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna go get the D4 and get it over here and set it up and try to get some video of it running. Appreciate you guys watching. God bless. Hey guys, sorry about the other video. I thought I had some video of this D4 running. Trying a little different way this time. I think I got it going. This is one slick machine. I really do like it. It's about 92 degrees outside and dusty. So I'm just kind of coming through here, getting up any of the roots, filling any of the low spots, make it a little smoother, some of the trashy stuff out of the way. A lot of locust trees was right here. That's the thorn trees. They had it mulched, and I noticed when I parked here the other day that it had them thorns on it about 2 or 3 inches long already. So I felt around with the excavator when I was down here taking these other trees out. I'd feel for these stumps while I was combing through it, and I'd pull them up. It's hard to get all of them up. Those things have roots. They run probably 100 foot from the tree or more. They just sprout up everywhere off those roots. But after you do this a time or two, you usually kill them out and keep it mowed. They won't come back after a while. Not trying to get all of them right now, but just make it a lot easier to walk through without getting tangled up. We'll be back in here doing a little bit more. There's more stumps around these other trees to the right of me that needs to come out. want to thank Yancey Brothers and Silas, the sales rep, bringing this out and let me check it out. I played around with the blade control, and I told you guys earlier that it was 2D, but this is 2D standard, and it also has the 3D technology in it. You just have to buy the license and have it turned on and buy your station, from what I was told. I think it's Trimble Earthworks that they use. Had a little old spot there where I gouged them out trying to get them stumps with the roots. Didn't have enough dirt there to fill that in. I'd back up and put some more dirt in the hole. Starting to get a little more used to it. Like this blade angle for the 6-way. Using my thumb instead of my wrist to rotate it. Works slick. So any of you guys out there got these D4s that used to be the D6, if you don't mind, drop me some comments how you like it. I've almost got 9 hours on it now from what I've been doing. It's real quiet in here. I like that. Don't have the dust. So some of the older dozers, even though they had an enclosed cab, they're still very loud inside. Blade's very responsive. Right now, all this is just me. I'm not using any of the blade control, letting the dozer do any of the grading. It's just me doing the blade control and steering it. Most of the time you don't need that unless you're building a pad or using something that you want to have some kind of design to it with the right amount of fall or grade as far as percentage grade. A lot of roots in that right there. I built some more right in this area. Maybe a stump there, or a rock. Felt the jar of the track a little bit. Got this blade cleaning. It's called a shake. Pretty nice. When you're in some sticky ground, it helps knock the dirt off the blade, so when you back up, you got a clean run. It don't fall off about halfway back on you and have to go back over what you just did. We usually manually do it and try to shake the blade. This seems to be a little bit faster than must have a little more flow on it or something. Very smooth and quiet. Got good power. The hydraulics, I'm old school. They're very responsive. It's almost like you don't have electric over hydraulic. The way it feels, they've got it dialed in pretty good. Don't have no after movement or before movement. I've run other machines that are electric over hydraulic that want to continue to move or move too fast when you just barely need to raise it up an inch and go up 6 inches or so. But this one seems to be pretty precise. Catchy did a good job with it. I like the way the blade's clean under the back of it. It don't drag the roots around and the rocks when you're trying to let your dirt out in the low spots. The John Deere, sometimes you have to go back over it. It's laid back flatter to the ground, and it wears on the bolts that hold the cutting edge. I noticed they wear really bad on it because the blade's got so much back tilt. And I have it adjusted forward a long way to stand the blade up so it don't do that so much, but it's still, this blade's a lot cleaner. You know, you can see the very bottom of your cutting edge, and I like that. It's just way better on fine grading. You guys bladed a lot, you know how rocks are getting dragged lines, and what you're doing, you're able to lose them out a lot better with the way this is made. At first, I didn't think I'd like this electric over hydraulic because all the older ones I've ran that had it, it just couldn't blade with it. It just too springy feeling. You'd let off of it like dribbling a ball or something. It wanted to overshoot either way. Caterpillar's got this figured out. I got over 25,000 hours experience with a bulldozer. And that alone, not counting the excavators. And I'll tell you, you couldn't get it much closer than what they got it, don't think. Very accurate. I can see the blade on both corners, got good visibility. Well, I've shaved about all the roots off out of that little area. Time to move the camera and get a different angle. stumps all in here where they ground over with the forestry mulcher. I don't know where they at. Thought I'd run over one with the tracks. So kind of got to move them out of trail to get the wood down here to build the fence. You can't see nothing in this stuff. So I don't want anything to roll off that bank there, so I'm trying to be easy with it. Get myself situated here. Push it back up the hill. The other day, I came down here, it rained the day before. Man, I tell you what, that mulch slick. This will make it a lot safer on me. They're stumps. I got the reverse a little faster than the forward, but I got to hold my foot on the decel, slow it down a little bit. That'd rather your teeth out. Getting on them things. You kind of see how it breaks over when it gets on one. This is one reason I'd rather have the XL, because of the wide tracks on the LGP. It's harder to keep it off the stumps, especially when you can't see them or someone's grounded. I feel one with a blade right there. You still hit them with that, but you do have a chance to get in between them with a narrower blade and narrower tracks. It's about 16 or 18 inches narrower than this one. Not to mention that your undercarriage lasts longer on the XL than it does the LGP. This is kind of camera. I still like the look. much y'all getting of this. So just show you how steep this is right here. 22%, 21. Then when you back up, it switches over to this side. It shows the dozer going downhill. Now this is the side slope, like your left or right. We're leaning 8, 9%. If I switch the dozer around this way, it'll increase. So my side slope's 24%. That's pretty cool. We won't be on this with a lawnmower down there around the edge of that bluff or that big drop off. Find a spot to mount this camera. Trying to find a place to put it without the wiper blade being in the way. I don't know how much you can see. Somebody needs to invent a mount that'll mount up right on this stuff. Probably could sell a lot of them. This thing just don't have enough metal in here to stick it on. Wiper blades right in the way. Which I could probably be adjusted and put back a little bit further. I was wanting to show you how clean the bottom of the edge of the blade is when you're pushing. I think that wiper blade arm's in the way. I'm not sponsored by CAT or anybody. I don't have any sponsor as far as that goes. So the feedback I'm giving you on this is real. You know, I'm not getting paid to tell you anything about it. But I do like it. I didn't think I'd like it much at first. Stick where a storm knocked everything down. Riding on another stump. Got a limb coming up close to the door there, and I want to scratch this thing up. So I'm going to move over a little bit. See how big these stumps are. I'll clean that off and show you. Velvet right there under my blade. Tracks on it now. Clean off the edge where you see it. It's probably 24 to 30 inches across. Pretty good size stump. We'll see how this thing does on it. I ain't dig around it or nothing. See how big it is. A lot of stump. 350 you get them pretty easy, which I am pushing uphill. Another one. They're so close together. That's what I was telling all of them. The LGP has its use, but for what I'm doing, the narrower blade just really makes things a lot easier. Cut some of these roots. And I do have it in eco mode. It's not in max horsepower, but it turns up a good bit. Spinning tracks, that's all you might want to do, even if it had the power. Both of them spinning. That's a massive stump though. You can't see them when they're ground off. You don't know where it's at. It makes them harder to dig up with a dozer, because you'd be on top of another stump, or maybe three. That's a big one though. It's got some power. Blade tilt too to rock it back and forth, and that helps lift them up out of the ground, get some leverage on it. I just wanted to see if it picked one out of the ground. I know that was a good sized stump. I don't want to roll it off in the highway down there though. It got it up. That's a whopper. I'd feel better to get them up with the excavator. More ways than one. One way of it is I'm not shaking them like this, riding around on top of them. And the other, it's just a lot cleaner. You're not having to dig up a big old wide spot to get one out. But I gotta try to make them a way to drive down with the wood. Because that'd be 200 or 300 foot, that's sure it would, back down the hill. All their tools. We'll get them way down there. Get this thing out of the way. We'll see how big it is here in a minute. Pines deep rooted. Move the camera where you can get a better shot of it. Big old stump. So that's the thing, if you're trying to get them up where a dozer's more efficient, pushing them downhill, as round as these are, when they come out, it would be off the edge of that bank if it took off, and you wouldn't be able to catch it. So with the excavator, I can keep it inside the bucket and just walk it back up and set it out on top. It's just faster to get them out with the track hoe, and it's a lot safer, and it's a lot easier on me, and I'm not having to ride on top of them, pushing them up. Because like I was on this here trying to dig this one up, there was 2 or 3 other stumps that the tracks was on. I had to try to get off them because I don't want to put everything in the bind with the track spinning and hang and break something and cause some damage. It's just a lot easier to get them up with the track hoe, especially when they're cut off like that. Now if they're cut off up about 2 foot, where you can get a hold of them, you can see them, and you're on flatter ground where it's not going to roll in the road, even if it is on a hill, a dozer does pretty good. But man, if that thing took off right there, there wouldn't be no stopping it. It'd curl down in the road, and I'd have to go get something else and get it out, and hope and pray that there ain't a car coming when it took off. But appreciate you guys watching. Like this little cat dozer. I put 10 hours on it myself. It's doing good. Very pleased with it. They don't have an XL to try out, so just using this LGP. Impressed with it. Cat's done a good job with it.